Here we are at the kitchen table again. We're going to follow up on yesterday's video we did about the merger with Wellmont Mountain States that become Ballad Health. We talked about Mr. Bart Hove yesterday. Please look at that video if you get a chance, if you haven't, and how he continued to receive $80,000 a month, even though he retired the day before the merger went through. So today we're going to focus on Mr. Alan Levine, who is the president, CEO of the now newly formed Ballad. Today happens to be the 5th anniversary of that. So let's take a look. Mr. Levine brags about how he's going to help the community and how we're going to be better off. So let's see how he's done through this merger. 2017 tax return of Ballad Health. It was actually Mountain States / Ballad Health at that time. Mr. Levine that year, 2017, brought in a cool 1.2 million, almost 1.3 million, another 181,000, making him like $1.4 million. Pretty good pay, right? 2018 Ballad Health tax return. This is the year the merger went through. Mr. Levine, president, CEO, executive now of Ballad, of all the hospitals. Base salary $1,100,000. Bonus $750,000. Other reportable compensation $180,000. Retirement alone he was given $172,000. Another $21,000 in non-taxable benefits. Not sure what that is. And then his total was $2.2 million after the merger. So he gained almost $1 million, almost, not quite doubled his salary, but he gained quite a bit. Let's just follow that up with 2019. Mr. Levine here in 2019, it's kind of hard to see. Base salary $2.1 million and an additional 200 and something thousand dollars, almost $215,000, puts him again at $2.3 million. About the same, but considerably more. So our healthcare may not be better, but his salary sure is. Let's put this in perspective. He makes roughly $45,000 a week. A week. Most people at the hospital don't make that in a year. $45,000 a week. Now keep in mind, a heart surgeon who you trust to do your bypass surgery or your heart valve, whatever it may be, they make $300,000 to $450,000 a year. And out of that, they have to pay their malpractice insurance. That could be up to $60,000 to $100,000 a year. So here you've got a guy running a hospital making $2.3 million a year, but the surgeon that literally takes your heart into his hands and heals it, makes it to where your coronaries are flowing again, is making $300,000 to $450,000. Doesn't seem quite fair, does it? Let's take a deep look here at Mr. Levine. This is an article from Health News out of Florida. Alan Levine, who became the face of Health Management Associates when the hospital chain was focused on a negative 60 Minutes broadcast last year, has been recruited to lead a group of non-profit hospitals in Tennessee. Second page of that article. Last December, Levine's face was seen nationwide defending HMA in an interview with Steve Croft on 60 Minutes, answering accusations that the chain pressured emergency department physicians to admit patients who did not need it. That article, that's out there, 60 Minutes. You can search it on YouTube. Probably put in 60 Minutes Alan Levine, you can find it. Notice he was recruited to come up here. Let's take a little little deeper look here. This is Mr. Levine's LinkedIn. Ballad Health, University of Florida, served on boards of Florida Board of Governors, constitutional body responsible for the governance of Florida's 12 state universities. Wow, pretty big. He's a chair and audit of the compliance committee there, I guess. That's a pretty big responsibility. Oxygen, which we'll talk about that in a minute. Barbara Bush's Foundation for Family Literacy and the Foundation of Florida's Future. Now, how is he managing all these hospitals, but yet has all those Florida ties? Why would he keep the Florida ties? It's kind of odd, isn't it? I mean, he's got a lot of responsibility here, you would think, but yet he's on all these boards in Florida. One that caught my attention was Oxygen. I know a lot about Oxygen. I actually know Jamie, the guy who started the company. Good guy, great company, do some good work. Let me explain what they do really quick. They take nerves from donated cadavers, tissue donors, and they prepare them to be back implanted into people that have nerve damage, and they do good work. They do great work. Well, this is from Oxygen's website. Mr. Levine is on their board. It says Mr. Levine has served as a member of the board of directors since May of 2019. Now, Oxygen is a for-profit company. They take donated tissue and sell it back to the hospitals or the recipients for a fee. I think these companies should all be nonprofit. That's what I've always believed. Now, if Mr. Levine is getting paid and these tissues are coming from cadavers or donors from Ballad, could be a conflict of interest. On the other side, if they're coming back and being implanted and the hospital's getting paid and he's getting paid to be on the board, pretty big conflict, in my opinion. Now, not an expert. So look at this real quick. Tennessee Supreme Court upholds $58 million verdict against Ballad Health, predecessor for Wellmont. Tennessee Supreme Court has denied Wellmont Systems the appeal of $58 million judgment against it for breach of contract. Basically, they've exhausted all their appeals. They owe that $58 million. How are they going to come up with that? Well, let's take a look here. You think, how is this related? So, Holston Valley, closing the NICU, sending everybody to the Johnson City Medical Center. Holston Valley, closing the level 1. We're not taking it to a level 2. We're going to take it all the way down to a level 3. We're going to send all those patients to the Johnson City Medical Center. Why would you do that? Why would you whittle that hospital down to nothing? Are you planning on selling it? I heard you might be. Until this lawsuit came along, a nurse is now suing Ballad. It's opened up for class action to possibly everyone that's ever worked there would have a claim that they did not get paid for hours they worked. Pretty interesting. Look that up. Corey Hall versus Ballad Health. Just filed last week. So there may be someone looking at possibly buying a hospital or two. That'll get them out of this hole maybe, right? Just a rumor. I don't know if it's true. And listen, I am not going to say who it is. I'm not going to say. But hopefully it's somebody good and we can get some decent health care in here and have a little competition back. Thank you for watching my video. More to come.